What's going on, people? My name is Mordzs and welcome back to my channel. Got another video. It's a new day. Like I said, consistency. I'm posting every single day. Now, obviously, you can tell the background's a little bit different. I'm at the United Sun studio because I couldn't record at home. But if I can get the opportunity to record here, I might as well because sometimes I don't have time at home. And obviously, I'm in the studio all day today, so I may as well give you a video from here. But look, today I want to speak about a very special, talented player at Manchester United that's been a little bit in the headlines the past couple of days, and that is Kobbie Mainoo. Now, the reason why I want to talk about Kobbie Mainoo today is, first of all, like I said, there's been this whole talk about contract issues and him wanted, apparently £200,000 a week, and United not being really willing to offer him that. I don't know what they offered, like the contract they offered him, but I'm assuming it's probably less than 100k, probably looking at around 70, 80k a week, which, I mean, look, to the average person, you take that every day of the week. That's like generational wealth. But, for someone who's a footballer playing for Manchester United and, the value and the importance that he has for the club, you could understand why he might want a little bit more. So I'm just going to talk about, first of all, that whole situation, and also just his value in terms of the team itself, the future of Kobbie Mainoo, and also what's going on in the present, considering he is right now probably one of, if not our best player in the team. So make sure you like, make sure you comment your opinions on Kobbie Mainoo, the future for him at the club. So talking to these contract issues, we've heard that obviously Chelsea have, let me not say they've put in any bids or anything, but they've obviously had conversations potentially about taking Kobbie Mainoo off us, which is kind of interesting because my whole thing was that I was trying to get Cole Palmer off them. My long-term goal in the next 3, 4, 5 years is to eventually take Cole Palmer off their books and bring him to United if we can get to that position where we are competing for titles. But right now it seems like it's a complete opposite way around. Now they're probably a year or two away from competing for a title, and United are so far gone from a Premier League title. But yeah, they apparently want Kobbie Mainoo. And to be fair, if it was going to be any team in the Premier League, it was going to be Chelsea. He's obviously not going to go to a Liverpool or a City. He is still a born and bred Manchester United fan. I highly doubt he would leave United because of money to go to Liverpool or City. And Liverpool probably would even offer him 200k a week anyway. But yeah, obviously it would be Chelsea. And look, this is my opinion on this. First of all, you got to look at the contracts that are going around, the contract that other players at Manchester United, that the players have. Yes, obviously you have the Brunos, the Rashfords, Casemiros that are earning 300,000, plus. But then you've got the Mason Mounts, you've got the Luke Shaws that are earning 200,000, 250,000 plus K a week. But then it's the players that are in the 100k to 200k range that I think is interesting, because you've got players like Lindelof, who's on £120,000 a week. Bear in mind, Kobbie Mainoo is still on his first professional contract that he got when he was in the academy. Because bear in mind, don't forget, he only came into the first team last season. He hasn't had any kind of updated contract renewal since then. So he's still playing off a contract that he had whilst he was in the under 18s or the under 21s or whatever team he was playing in. So I think he's on about 20, 30k a week, which, again, for the average person, insane. Like, that's crazy. That's like a yearly wage in a week. But again, for someone like Kobbie Mainoo, and you're looking at the players around him, like I said, Lindelof 120k a week, Euro's probably on, I think, 120, 130 as well. Mazraoui's on about 135. De Ligt's on like 195. You've got a bunch of players that, I mean, Kobbie Mainoo's probably looking at it, and his agent are probably looking at it thinking, these guys are on insane wages, and you Kobbie Mainoo, probably the most valuable player in this team. If I'm a player like that, and if I'm, thinking of it in that way, I'm thinking, let me, at least the value that I bring to the team, let it be shown in how much money I get paid. If you value Lenny Euro this much, if you value De Ligt this much, if you value Mazraoui this much, if you value Mason Mount this much, if you value Onana and even Bayern, these kind of players this much, why is my contract not being shown? And why is the amount of money that I'm being paid not being reflected in that as well? So from that aspect, I can kind of understand why he wants a good wage. I can kind of understand why he'd want 120, 150k a week kind of wage. However, he's only played 1 year. I mean, not to say that he's going to fall off or anything, but as a 19-year-old, he played 1 year, at this level of football. you kind of have to compose yourself a little bit, you know, and contracts are a weird thing nowadays in football. I look at someone like Rashford. I've said before, Rashford's biggest problem, the biggest mistake that Rashford ever made, and it's a catch-22 because it's like a win-win / lose-lose situation, was him offering or him getting this 300k a week contract. That was the biggest mistake Rashford made because, one, yeah, I get it, it's a lot of money and nobody's ever going to turn down the most amount of money you can get. Everyone's going to try and negotiate to get the most, you know, the highest salary in any job. Nobody can deny that. If their manager said, I'm going to offer you an extra £100,000 a week for your contract, you're going to say yes, of course. However, the fact that he earns so much and he still earns so much is, one, it means now he's struggling to even leave the club. Whether he wants to leave or not, no other club's going to want to pay that much money for a player. That's just insane wages. Secondly, he can't just sit on the bench and try and get form or try and get himself back in the team because you can't be being paid 300+ K a week being a bench player. You can't. Like that is insane kind of wages for a player who's not starting. I don't think there's many players in the Premier League that earn that much. And three, look, it puts him at a bad position because you look at the other players in the team. He is the highest earner, or at least top 2, maybe top 3 highest earners. You have to be performing as one of the top 2 or top 3 highest earners in the team to justify those wages. So the fact that he negotiated to earn 300+ K a week it put him in a bad position because now that he's in a bad run of form or the past 18 months, I don't even know you can even call that form. It's been so long. Now it kind of is gone against him. You know, it's working against him, the fact that he's earning this amount of money. So for a player like Kobbie Mainoo, for him to allegedly be asking for 200k a week, he's going to have to be putting in a certain level of performances to now justify the fact that he's earning, you know, 200,000, you know, plus a week. He's going to have to be performing at the levels of the other players around him, which is going to add in a lot more pressure. And for someone who's so young, I don't necessarily feel like that's something that will benefit him. Now, like I said, no one's turning down 200k a week. If that money comes, you're taking it. You're never going to say no. But in the long run, from what we see from other players, it might not necessarily be the best thing. Now, in terms of how good Kobbie Mainoo is and his potential and his talent at the club, I said it before, as a footballer, he is still the best player that we have. He is still the best player. He might not be in terms of what he's done for the club. Look at someone like Bruno. Bruno's been there for the past 4 years. A whole load of goals, a whole load of assists. You know, he's put down the numbers. He's been here in the difficult times. He's saved us in so many games, countless games throughout the years. Yes, he's done a lot at the club. He probably is our best player in that respect. But I'm talking about pure football and ability. I don't see many players in that team that can chat to Kobbie Mainoo. So for me, being a 19-year-old and having that ability, there's so much potential to go forward. And the way I look at it in terms of money is, if Manchester United want to go out and buy a Kobbie Mainoo from another team, yeah? Hear what I'm saying. If Manchester United want to go out and buy Kobbie Mainoo from another team, his value is at least 70 million, in my opinion. You might say 60, 70, but in my opinion, it's at least 70, probably even 100. You know, considering the market nowadays, 100 million, look how many players have been bought for 100 million. Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Declan Rice, even João Felix got bought for 100 million years ago. Coutinho got bought for 100 and something million. Lukaku got bought for like 98 million from Chelsea. 100 million isn't even that crazy anymore. So for Kobbie Mainoo, being 19 years old with disability, he's worth at least, in my opinion, 60, 70 million. Now, let's just do the maths. If he was to be offered, if United were to give him 200k a week for 5 years, yeah? 5 years, 200k a week. That is, I think 200k a week times 50, my maths is bad. That's about 10 million, right? Something like that. Times 5 years, that's about 50 million. So you're either going to pay Kobbie Mainoo £50 million, or you're going to go spend £50 million or plus the wages of whoever you're going to go and buy, which is probably going to be £100,000 a week player anyway, which is going to be for the next 5 years. So you're going to end up spending probably 90, 100, 120 million pounds on a player, whereas you can just give Kobbie Mainoo the money that he wants and you're probably going to cost you half of the price. Just from doing the maths, it actually makes sense to just give him the money that he asked for, because you're going to spend so much money trying to bring in a player to replicate what Kobbie Mainoo can do to the ability that he's doing it. It doesn't even seem worth it to do that. So, look, I think for United, just wrapping up, you know, this video, for United, it makes a lot more sense for them to ease into whatever his Kobbie Mainoo and his team are kind of asking for. Maybe not go to the extent of £200,000+ a week, but at least be open to offering him a very good contract, because you're going to end up spending a lot more anyway in the market. And also the potential and the ability that he brings to this team is so valuable, so valuable. And you've been seeing it in the last couple of games, and you might see it in the Arsenal game. I'm going to do a preview for the Arsenal game tomorrow. His value to this team, the ability that he brings to the team is so high. Look, we've got to do everything that we can to keep him. And I'm telling you this now, if Manchester United sell Kobbie Mainoo in January, forget January, even in summer, if we sell Kobbie Mainoo to a Premier League team, I'm telling you, I will stop supporting this club. I will stop watching football in general, because that to me is Ineos pretty much saying, look, we've just come to sabotage. That is the biggest sabotage that we've ever seen, because there's no way that Ineos can see the benefit of selling Kobbie Mainoo to a Premier League team in the summer. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about that. Let me know in the comments what you think about Kobbie Mainoo in general. You know, what does he bring to the team? Do you see him as a starter? What do you think is his best position? And also, what do you think about this whole contract conversation? Do you think he deserves a 200k a week? What do you think he does deserve, if you can even fathom what a player deserves nowadays? What do you think Kobbie Mainoo should be getting? And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll probably do an Arsenal preview, you know, obviously for the FA Cup game on Sunday. But yeah, I'm seeing you for the next video.